Oh, let me shut this off. Hello, everybody. Thank you for stopping by. If you are watching this at a later time and you're not watching this during the live stream, I appreciate you a bunch. Let's freaking get into what we're here to do today. I'm going to get this out of here real quick. If you didn't know, I put out a little short fan film, and we're going to use that term loosely because it's short. It's emphasis on the short part, but I put out a short inspired by Kamen Rider, specifically Kamen Rider Geats, and yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Just in case you haven't seen it, I'm going to play it right now. It's short, like I said, 2 minutes, so I'm going to play that right now, and I hope to do this with any future projects that I have down the line. If that involves multiple collaborators, that's something where maybe it's not just me talking or me commentating. But today it is just me, and we're going to be talking The Lost Nago. But like I said, I'm going to be showing what that is, just in case you haven't seen it, and because I'm going to break it down. And I'm going to be pausing a lot, and I just want you to be able to just watch it real quick. So I'm going to put that on now. Here you go. My name's Ben. After dedicating 7 years of my life to a dead-end job, I finally made the choice to leave. I don't know what's next, but I do know I won't figure that out behind a cubicle. My mom used to say, live each day like it's the last chorus of your favorite song. You only have one shot, so you gotta make it count. I want to take my life back and make a difference. I think we should all appreciate what we have while we have it. Why wait for tomorrow when you have today? I feel like I've lost a part of myself, so I'm gonna try to find that. One way or another.
Even if chosen to become a Kamen Rider, not all users are compatible with the desired driver.
No. Oh. Oh my god, there's so many. Which one is it? Here we go. I'm so sorry. But that was The Lost Nago. First off, shout out to everybody that helped me make this. I obviously did not do this by myself, as you saw. Obviously, I need to stop saying obviously. Shout out to Seventh Vampire who did the music for this. He absolutely killed it. I had something for it that just wasn't the same. I can play that soon, but I had something that was super basic, and when he heard it, he was like, "Okay, I see what you're trying to do. Can I do something?" And I was like, "Do it." And he was like, "I'm gonna do it." And then he did. He fucking did it. And he sent that back to me, and I was like, "Yes, this is it. Thank you. Yes, 100%." And yeah, it was really cool. So obviously, shout out to him. Can you guys not hear me? Is it low? This guy's on. Let me know if you can hear me loud and clear. So yeah, shout out to Seventh Vampire. He absolutely nailed it with the music. Secondly, shout out to Daniel, aka Hurricane Gold. He did the visual effects at the end. Really, really appreciate what he did in this short, because I didn't obviously have a lot of Toku special effects aspects. Excuse me. I was just eating ice cream. I didn't have a lot of big action scenes or anything like that. So the Toku really was just like all the little homages I wanted to throw in, and the effect at the end of just like the error of not being able to henshin. So he absolutely nailed that, and I really liked what he did. So shout out to Daniel, also known as Hurricane Gold. Real quick shout out to everybody in the chat right now. Kamen Rider Arc 2, Omega RX, Runus Yam, hello from Malaysia. Hello. Shout out Malaysia. But yeah, and I quickly want to thank, quick special thanks to Hedge, Space Guitar Rise. He, when I was thinking of like Geet's stuff to add, I was like, oh, we can do like the Grand Prix rule at the end. And I just kept hearing his voice. So I hit him up and I was like, hey, would you be down to do that little bit at the end? And he was so down. So shout out to Hedge. Really, really appreciate you. And then a shout out to Guy Ali, who did the art. I really, really appreciate what Guy Ali did. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't really have like a vision for this. It was kind of just like, I need title art. Like, you are an artist. Let's fucking do something. And he was down. And he ended up sending me like a couple versions because like we went back and forth. But then like we settled on this, and I was like, yeah, this feels good. So shout out to Guy. I really appreciate him. Yeah, and then obviously Sophia, she has been like the number one contributor to everything. Like, I don't even know how to credit her. It's so weird. She just like, you know, like concept idea, like we brainstorm everything together. She helped on the day of filming, so you know there was a lot of that. But real quick, I want to kind of break this down and give you guys the insight on like where we wanted to kind of take this story, or like where it all came from, like why it happened. I actually have to cool. I actually have to switch screens, so give me 1 second. Yeah. A lot of this would not happen without Fee, just because like she is, I don't know, she doesn't like the credit, but she does a lot for me personally behind the scenes. So yeah, that's why it's so hard to credit her. I don't really know what to credit her as. I think the next one I'll try to have like a more defining role for her, and then I can just like credit her accordingly. The Lost Naga was, I can just go into that. That could be the first thing. The name. We were filming, and I kind of just told her, I was like, I don't really know what to call this, but like I keep hearing the last Nago, like the last one, not like the final Nago, but like the last one before Neon before the Nago in the show, like a Nago, let's say specifically. It doesn't even have to be somebody specific, but my whole thing was like a Nago. So that was number one. She helped with that, and that was just like how do we feel about that? And she was like, that's okay. Like we can jam on that, but we could also like do something else. So like we sat on it, and this was while we were filming that day. We took like a whole day to film it. Smoking Apes, what's good, my dude? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, so it was something where I was like, okay. And then as the story progressed, I was like, what about the Lost Nago? Because it's just, it can mean like a couple things. And I like that it could just be left up to interpretation at that point, because it could either be him being lost, as in like the end, like he's lost, or it's something deeper than that. And obviously, like that's a whole other thing. But I'm going to again play it from the beginning, but this time I'm just going to pause and I'm just going to talk about how things came about and all that good stuff. You're breaking up, like you're glitching. Ooh, that's probably Wi-Fi stuff. Yeah, I mean, shit, man. Let me know how stuff goes, but I don't think I have control over that much at this moment. I am doing a lot on the computer though, so oh shit. This is my drive. So real quick, you just gotta peek at the good stuff. There's just like ideas and stuff like that back there. Yeah, I'm sorry if this is glitchy. I'm so sorry. Oh, Fee hopped off the Wi-Fi. Appreciate you, bub. But yeah, so again, I have this downloaded, which is another plus. I don't have to rely on Wi-Fi for this video to play, but I guess the stream could be laggy, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to play this from the beginning, and I'm just going to give you guys the rundown of where this is going. If you missed me playing the video, I played the Lost Nago in full, but if you missed it, the Lost Nago is just about this guy who gets chosen to enter the Grand Prix. And on his search to get a buckle to continue participating, he, just doesn't have the average end result that you might think. He dies. Right? Is that what we're going with? He dies. Omega X says, I'm interested on what got you to choose Nago to be the first writer in your fan film. That's a great question. The goal with these is to, I want to tell stories about the other writers. Like, I want to tell stories focused on not the main writer, because you have a whole show dedicated to Geets. You have a whole show dedicated to Deno. Like, let's tell a story with Nago. Let's tell a story with Buffa. Let's tell a story with somebody else, because like there's, I don't know, to me that's a little bit more interesting. This easily could have been Geets, right? Like I easily could have just been like, oh, he's a Geets, the lost Geets, but it just doesn't, to me, it's not interesting. I'd rather do it for another character, secondary, tertiary, extra hero, heroine hero, like whatever you want to title them. Like that to me is more interesting. So that was a reason to go with Nago. Also, I love gender bending on my channel. So like for Henshin's, Sophia will portray Saber, she'll portray D-End, she'll portray, as somebody that's usually like a male. For the Pink Sentai Henshin that I did, I had like guys and girls playing pink heroes. That's just something I've always loved doing. I've loved just like, oh hey, like this character, but let me I want to turn that into what you haven't seen. A female Saber, whatever. In this instance, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna play Nago. Like, let me do it. That's another reason why, like, I specifically chose Nago. I specifically chose Beat. It was just all very, like, I wanted that. Because this easily could have been done with any buckle. You know what I mean? Like any buckle I could have used. But to me, it's just I like this, and there's reason. So anyway. Omega RX, thank you for the question. If anybody else has questions while I'm doing this, feel free to ask away. We're gonna go through it and see what's up. My name's Ben. Right off the bat, Ben. So why is his name Ben? That was something. Ooh. That was the last thing I did, actually. Not gonna lie. That was the last thing I did. I didn't know what his name was. Sophia and I talked about it. He could have been nameless. I could have just had him be like Guy. You know, like he could have just been like anonymous. But I wanted his name to have purpose. I wanted it to be, because it's my first character in my first short film. I wanted it to have meaning. I didn't want it just to be like, you can be like whoever you want. You know what I mean? So, like, the name had to have meaning. And then there was a point where I had a first name and a last name. I did a voiceover where I was like, my name is... I'll just tell you. I was like, my name is Benjamin Page. His last name is Page. And I just wanted that to, you know, like, Page written Paige, but, you know, also signifying, like, page, a page, you know? Like, I don't know. Just those little meanings that like I just always throw in there. But yeah, so his full name is Benjamin Page, but that it took a while to get there. Like there's a while where I really wanted to. Sophia kept throwing this in there, but like let's name him Adam because like we love Adam and Power Rangers, duh. But I just didn't. I didn't feel that for this character. So I just started thinking of me and like who I like and heroes that I like and all that stuff. And Ben Grimm is one of them. Like I love the Thing from Fantastic Four. So that was one motivation for me. There was another Ben. There might have been another Ben character that I really liked. But then ultimately I really attached it to our old cat Benjamin, good old Bengo. He, if you guys don't know, we had a cat for a little bit, and then he ended up running away. So, Nago, the whole cat thing, I was like, damn, that kind of makes sense for me. So we ended up going with Benjamin, after our cat Benny that ran away. A lost Nago, if you will. See, there you go, like another meaning on there. Yeah, so... that was just number one for me. His name, a little insight into the mind. That's what you're gonna get tonight. After dedicating 7 years of my life to 7 years, real quick. This all again. 7 years. Sophia and I have been dating for 7 years, so I just needed like a number, and to me, I was just like, boop boop. Where am I taking it from? Because if somebody was like, why would you 6 years? 5, 9, that's too long. You know, 7 just felt right for me. Sophia and I have been dating for 7 years this year, so I went with 7 years. Thank you. That's just a quick one. I don't know if you guys cared about that one, but I'm gonna be sharing it all tonight, just to get it out there. After dedicating 7 years of my life to a dead-end job, I finally made the choice to leave. We filmed this at this park, literally like. Not even 5 minutes from where I am right now. Like, it's so close. Sophie and I go there all the time. I also shot some TikTok engines at this very river. But we go there all the time, and it's just big. It's big. There's a lot of land. There's a lot of land to cover. You know, like there's a lot that I can use. And we went there, like I said, for a couple hours. We had the baby with us. We filmed all of this with the baby. So imagine like me shooting or Sophia holding the camera, and then like a couple feet away there's a stroller that has a baby inside. So that's what was happening the day of. This took like a couple hours. But yeah. Let's keep going. This B-roll saved my ass because I needed something to break up the shots, and it wasn't intentional, but then it felt very intentional towards the end, which I'll get to. But this B-roll of the tree was just, I really like this tree. We were done. I was like, all right, let's start going home. And then I saw this tree, and I was like, I really like it. I don't know why. I'm just gonna like shoot it a little bit. So I just like, that's why, like, to me this video isn't perfect, and this is half of the reason. Like, the B-roll shots to me feel a little shaky, and there's like another shot here and there, but the B-roll could have been way better if I was like actually, oh my god, I just had done it because I was like, maybe I'll use this, like, whatever. But when I was editing, I was like, I didn't really take a lot of location B-roll, like scenery. I didn't do a lot of that, so I fucked up there. But then I realized, I had this tree, and that for me is then a foreshadow to later on. But yeah, that was something that I realized, and I was like, you know what, that kind of really saves my ass. It helps me break shit up. Anyway, let's continue. I don't know what's next, but I do know I won't figure that out behind a cubicle. Oh, shout out to the geese right here. You guys can't really see them, but there's geese over here. We paid them. They're paid actors, just real quick. Also, I talked about this on Twitter, but I haven't really talked about it here on YouTube. This, what is it? This windbreaker that I'm wearing. It's a MTV windbreaker that I got at Walmart. But to me, it just like feels very Geats Grand Prix windbreaker-esque. It's like almost like my version of the Grand Prix jacket, because I don't have one, and I probably will never have one because of my size. But this bad boy just gives me that vibe. Plus, it has all the colors of like the main heroes of Geats. Like, it has the yellow for Nagato, it has the red for Ace, purple on it for Buffa, and green for Tycoon. I really, really like that. And if you ever see me use this again, it's probably going to be in a Geats thing. But yeah, that's just like a little note. I really, really like this. Fee adds here that at this exact same moment that I'm filming here, where I'm running, Fee was changing Tav's poopy diaper. So that's what was going on. Also, fun fact, I'm running, not with the camera in hand, but with the camera on my tripod with the legs closed, and I have it in my armpit. So I was kind of like, I was hoping it would feel like a GoPro effect. It doesn't feel that way, but that was the aim. Like, that was the goal I wanted for that shot. Also, I specifically wore these shoes that day because they were colorful, and I knew I was going to have like this, like I said, this windbreaker that I feel is very Geats for me. And I just wanted my shoes to be colorful, and like, I knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of color in these shots because it's very dull right now outside. So I want it to be color and black. Like, that's why I'm wearing black pants. I don't know what's next, but I do know I won't figure that out behind a cubicle. My mom used to say, live each day like it's the last chorus of your favorite song. My actual mother has never said that ever in her life. That's not true, but it sounds cool, so I wrote that. It doesn't come from anywhere specific. I was just like, I need a quote. Like, I feel like a quote would hit in this short. You know what I mean? Like, he's giving this monologue. There's a speech. I feel like it'd be nice if he quoted somebody or quoted something. And there's more to this story that I didn't really get into, but I had to like make up a lot of it in my own head to give it meaning and to give the character meaning. But Ben is going through some shit, like he's going through it, and he just if you notice, like, tense for when he talks about his mom, we're talking in a past tense, so she used to say. So, it's sad. It's sad for him. He's living, there's a reason why he's quitting this job now. There's a reason why he's so motivated right now. And I think I didn't want to just be like, hey, like right on the nose, but like if you pick it up, you can feel that. I hope. You know what I mean? Live each day like it's the last chorus of your favorite song. You only have one shot, so you gotta make it count. Dude, okay. I have some behind the scenes for this. Gotcha. I have some behind the scenes for this. I'll show you guys right now. Hold on. It's so funny. It's so funny. Hold on. Where is it? Here we go. Okay, so this is the raw shot. No editing. This is what I shot that day. Okay. So this was towards the end of the day. Like, I was just like, I need a couple more shots to kind of like get more of me searching and all that stuff. And I needed like different shots. I didn't just want to be looking. Here we go. I didn't want to just always be looking in a bush or whatever. So like, I wanted to find different things that I could do to kind of like show that I've been looking or searching. But here I go to like move this branch on the left coming up right here, and then you'll hear me be like, ah, it's because I fucking hit like a thorn or something. So that was one thing, right? I was like, ah, that hurt. And I was like, fucked up that shot. So I was like, let me come back. Because I didn't know how much I was going to use, you know? So I was like, let me make sure I get like a clean shot of me walking in and like looking. So I go back and I do that again. Real quick. Hold up. There we go. All right. Here we go. And as you saw in the Lost Nago, I quickly get down and I'm like, let me look in this tunnel thing or like whatever this is. Like, let me go see what's going on. So I do that. Here's the shot that I use. All right. And then I was like, fuck, I'm scared. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I sat there and I was like, I don't know how I'm going to turn. Because I was like, if I get up, I feel like I'm going to slip. And that's a river right there. I would fall into a river. That's not even like it's just like a fucking lot or something. You know, like I'm falling in water. So I was like, I'm just going to sit here. So I'm sitting there freaking out. And I'm like, well, there I'm laughing. And I'm looking over to see if Fee can see me, but Fee is so far away from me. So I'm like, I'm going to take this belt off. Because if I don't take this belt off and I fall and I lose this belt, this is not worth it. The short isn't worth it. It's not worth it. So really quick, I kind of just mosey my way over. And yeah, I crawled. I literally crawled because I was like, I don't know what else to do. This is humiliating, to say the least. But I figured it'd be fun for you guys to watch. Because that's what I went through for that shot.
Things we do for the shot.
Things we do for the shot. That's what I said. All right. Right. So, you know, that's one thing. Let's get back to the Lost Nago. Christ, dude.
Live each day like it's the last chorus of your favorite song. You only have one shot.
This is a sick bridge where, like I said, we go there all the time. It's this nice river park situation, but there's this bridge. I've always wanted to do something with it. Sophie and I have had plans to do like a henshin there, but it hasn't worked out yet. So I was like, I'm going to film me running on it real quick. And I feel like I wish I had gotten other angles, like maybe like cameras on the ground looking up or like a close-up of something or like through the bridge or something, you know, but this was literally as we were leaving and I was like, we're passing the bridge. I don't want to like not get a shot with it because I feel like if I had passed it without getting any shots, I would have been bummed. So I was like, let me get a shot real quick.
You gotta make it count.
You got to make it count. Sorry. Oh, my favorite bit. So this is just something I wanted to throw in there. I was like, this has to be like a, you know, like a little joke for the people that know, you know. That's a Vice stamp, duh, obviously. But it is that one. Yeah, I call this the Pronghorn Vice stamp because it looks like it has the Pronghorn logo on it. I don't know if you could see it. But I just wanted to have like a quick little bit of him finding a Toku prop and being like, nah, fuck that. And then specifically it being a Vice stamp from Marie Vice because Yeah.
I want to take my life back and make a difference. I think we should all appreciate what we have while we have it.
Music really hits for me.
Why wait for tomorrow when you have today?
Okay, and then there's here's where we get into the before, if you will. Like, this is before the whole video. This takes place when he is chosen to participate. And I had a couple comics in the trunk of our car. So when we got to the park, I was just looking through the comics, and I asked Fee, I was like, which one should we use? Should we use the Silk one or the Suicide Squad one? Because I was like, I want to use either like a female heroine comic or something like the Suicide Squad because of the death. So I was like, which one? And she was like, let's do Silk. So that's why we use Silk. There's no other reason. I haven't even read that comic. I was literally just like, let's bust it out. I'm gonna open it up. I'm a horrible reader, so I just love owning comics, but I don't read. So I sometimes read, actually, but I just hate reading. I'd rather watch video. But that was why we used the Silk comic. I just thought that would be fun. Yeah. Obviously, Sophia's hands. Okay. This next part was not planned. This transition, zoom, was not planned. Okay, so while we were filming this was the last shot we did, actually. While we were filming this, I was like, I held it. Because Sophia was done. She was like, she walked over to the baby. So, like, I just held it, and I was like, what if I, like, you know, like I'm transported somewhere? And originally, I was supposed to be transported somewhere else. Like, we were, because like I said, the story was, it went through its phases. So the story went to some places, but there was a point where I would have been transported. Hold up, where is it? Is it this one? 2 minutes. Yeah, that's probably it. I would have been transported here. Yeah, this is the one. So, as you'll see, I'm like, whoa! I'm doing the whole, like, oh, I'm here now situation. This obviously didn't make it in the final cut for multiple reasons. But yeah, so here I am just trying to make this happen. Trying to look good, as you can tell. I'm wearing the belt the whole time. But here, again, you can see I'm just... Sophia's telling me that she's pooping. So I'm like, of course she is. But as she was walking away, I was like, I have to get in a couple in here. But again, this is where I was, like, from going into this is where I was going to come out. I was supposed to come out here. And this was going to be the beginning of the hunt. My acting skills. Whoa. One more. Oh, we're going forward now. Didn't like that, so we'll go back again. Yeah, so that was, like, you know, trial and error. But in the end, the what is it? The shot that we actually got, I really, really liked. I really liked the transition that we ended up getting because it just feels so much smoother to me. And then Seventh Vampire killed it with just adding that big thud. I just felt like that was just really, really nice. A really nice touch. But again, here I just like... And then wake up again. I didn't know how I was going to do that, but I was like, I'm just going to wake up, and I'm just going to boop, boop. Like, I just had to awake. I'd awaken. I am awake now. Yeah. And this is where he finds the buckle, which is great. It's exciting.
I feel like I've lost a part of my...
So what I was talking about earlier with the B-roll for the tree, I feel like that almost gives you the foreshadow of him finding now this in the tree through the vines that I strategically placed there. Thank you very much. Took a little bit to get that raised buckle stuck on there, but we got it. I did it. Thank you very much. Yeah, so here I finally reveal that the monologue, the voiceover, is actually a vlog, and this is where I'll explain this, because you don't get any of this if I don't explain it to you, unless you just like figure it out, which I hope. That's why I wanted to wait. I wanted to do this live stream sooner, but I was like, let me wait like a week or so. Hopefully let people watch it, let people sit on it, and if they get what I was trying to do, then they get it. But this is the reveal that I'm actually vlogging. I am a vlogger, I guess. Ben is trying to get into social media, which is a nod to the recaps that they do in Geets with Kawa in the beginning of the show, just like whatever, and then I guess it changes over to Tsumudi. But it's meant to homage that in Kamen Rider Geets, and then it also is meant to homage the social media aspect in Nago, how Neon is like an influencer. I wanted to just like put that a little bit into Ben's character, because that's where he wants to go, right? He is saying that is his path, and he is going to hopefully do that. And this was meant to be like a day one of a new me, and that was in the script for a little bit, but I took that out. But that's what I wanted to portray with this. Like, he is feeling confident, and I hope if you listen to the voiceover again, if you watch the video again, you can see that he is very hopeful, and like everything is like supposed to be very exciting while he is going through the trenches, just like trying to look for a raised buckle, which, you know, I wish I could have portrayed a little bit more hectic, but I thought that just like that feeling of anxiety and hecticness would be a nice contrast to him just like being hopeful and being like, yo, like, start your fucking new life today, man, like, do your thing. Yeah, I just wanted to really convey that. But again, here's the reveal that was that the whole time, and I hope that people didn't assume that beforehand.
So I'm gonna try to find that.
That's obviously that line. I'm not gonna say anything, but come on.
I feel like I've lost a part of myself, so I'm gonna try to find that.
And then here's where Daniel's work comes in. Got some VFX, boom, right there. Love that. There we go, the pose. So I didn't think about the pose too long, but I knew I wanted to have meaning to the pose. So I wanted to incorporate Nago's pose a little bit. I wanted to see, because she does the whole like, and then she does the henshin, like the like, shoo, whoop, or whatever, you know? And like, I knew I wasn't going to do this because like that's a cat, but I was like, what if I like do this and like I just do like a tiger type cat claw thing where I'm just like so that was one half of the pose, but then I wanted to incorporate a side of myself and, you know, gem into it. So I started with doing this. You can't really see my elbows, but like my elbows pointing down, because I wanted to like showcase like a rhino horn or like a double rhino horn situation with like, it's not supposed to be me putting my dukes up because like that would look different, you know, or you know what I mean? It's more of just like I wanted to just like have two rhino horns right there, and then we go into the tiger. So that's really what that is supposed to be. And again, I didn't think too long about the henshin pose, but I knew I wanted to incorporate a side of myself and also some Neon / Nago from the show, respectively. Shoop. Shoop. Henshin. Yeah, and I debated for the longest time, like, do I want to add the sounds to everything? Because originally I think I did want to add the sounds. Like that's why I pressed the button in the beginning, like over here. Like I pressed the button because I was like, I'm gonna play the standby music and it's gonna sound so cool with the score over it, even though the score of that Seventh Vampire is fucking crazy and probably would not match whatsoever what the fuck that Buckle's doing. So I decided to omit the sound, and because the voiceover is the sound, right? Like that is my sound. So I didn't want to now break that with, oh, you can hear what's happening in this scene that you really shouldn't be able to hear what's happening because you haven't heard anything of what's happened this whole time. So I was just like, I'm going to keep that silent. And then obviously when I say henshin, motherfuckers know what fucking henshin is. Like you say henshin and that's, you transform. So I didn't feel like adding an ADR of me saying henshin was needed. I was like, this is good. And then this little bit. You fucking know when writers do this shit? You know when writers do this shit? When they're like, when they have a fucking pose and they're just like looking the other way. I just wanted to incorporate that also in the pose. And it was super last minute. Like I think I just did it on the spot. But I like when like Wizard, he does this. He does, you know, I just wanted to incorporate like a in there. What's his name? Chase, he does the or whatever the fuck, you know. So yeah, I wanted to get that in there too. I love henshins. I love henshin poses. So I had to make sure that this had meaning and that motherfuckers weren't just like, you just made something up. I did, but there's reason. So
one way or another.
Oh, and then this is where we have the error of the belt, him not being able to henshin. And I die. Boom. Doon, doon, ga, doon, da, da, da. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have much to say about the death. He dies. He's supposed to die. He's not compatible. He's not. He was chosen, but the belt is like, nah, he can't. Dead. Boom. Yeah. And that was that. And like I said, shout out to Seventh Vampire, Hurricane Gold, Gyali Hedge, the Bub Sophia, and then this part, my favorite.
Even if chosen to become a common rider, not all users are compatible with the desired driver.
Nice. Omega RX, what a fantastic question. What a fantastic question, Omega RX. Omega RX asks, since there's not a lot of people compatible with the driver, where or what happens to that person, and will they ever return to the DGP? That is a very good question. I have so many ideas for what comes next for the Geats shorts, right? Like the Geats shorts will continue, but I don't want it to be the next one. I will let you know what the next short is going to be in a little bit, but to just answer that question in a very vague way, like, yeah, that could be explored in another thing, but I want to make sure that this story, this short had this explanation of like, he couldn't henshin because he just wasn't compatible. The desired driver was just like, you're not compatible, my dude. You can't henshin. For what reason? I'll leave that up to you. But yeah, I just wanted that to be the rule and the meaning for this. I gotta say, just because like we have been talking a lot recently, I am working with my boy Kaiju Carl. You guys know Carl. I hope you know Carl, but we are working on the next piece, and we're also working on the next short that, again, I'm going to talk about in a little bit. But Carl and I are working on the next Geet story, and I like what he wrote because he's writing it. I'm just going to shoot the shit and, like, whatever, but he's writing it, so I'm very excited. And yeah, no, that's gonna be very cool. The next Geats project, but that's not. I shouldn't even be talking about it honestly, but it's fun. It's fun. So thank you for that question, Omega. That's very cool. Yeah, I mean, I can show more behind the scenes. There's like a couple funny shots. There's these shots right here that I really wanted to incorporate. I guess this one is kind of funny. It's not really that funny, but here's a shot of me. Because okay, to be honest, everybody, real quick, let's honesty hour. There was a point where we were even filming where I was like, I don't know what the story is. Like this one really wasn't that well thought out, to be honest, like from the get-go. So like there were things where like I knew story moments that I wanted to happen, or like things that I knew I wanted to incorporate in the story, but there was like a piece where I was like, I'm just gonna leave that up to when I'm filming. Like I'll just see what ground we have, I'll see what I'm working around, and see what I can shoot as far as like stuff that didn't have to do with like dialogue, or just like shots with him searching, I should say. Like that stuff wasn't really, I didn't think of, I'm gonna run on the bridge and I'm gonna friggin', like I should have, but again, like locations for us right now aren't like, I can't just pick and choose, like I'm going to a fucking park. So like, this shot was me in a position that obviously did not make the final cut, but this is supposed to be me trying to take the belt off. I want to take the belt off, but I can't. And this was supposed to be if the voiceover had gone in a direction of, oh my God, like, where's my phone? I'm just going to use my wallet. If I was like, yo, what's up, guys? Like, I'm filming right now. I'm in the Grand Prix. I don't know what's happening. Like, oh my God, I've been searching everywhere. I can't find a thing. Like, I've tried to take my belt off and I can't. Like, that's what this shot would have been for. Like, but the story wasn't going there. I just wanted to have it just in case. I was like, let's switch around the story and try to do something different. But here you go. Here's a shot of me trying to take off the belt when I cannot take off the belt. I'm trying. One thing, just a couple things I didn't like about this shot. I wish the bell had been in frame more. But then I also hate all this background. Like, just like all of this shit. Hate it. Hate it. Everybody's like, all these apartments that are back here across from the park. I just didn't really like that. So that didn't make the final cut, which I didn't have a problem not keeping. There were a few other shots. Let's see. I think they're not those. Is it this one? Oh, did I delete them? Maybe. Yeah, I probably deleted them. There's some shots of me digging in this hole that went nowhere. Which was a bummer. This is another version of the last shot of me henching. I did another take. I figured out the pose. We were ready. We had the shot, and this is the shot that I didn't use. Just for you guys to see, real quick. I was like, which hand do I want it in? You know what I mean? So as you can see, the sounds are playing. Oh, fucked up there.
Cool though. Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. Fee is just like such a supporter. I'm a maniac, so I just needed the exact sound that I wanted to play. Ooh. Oh, that was the other thing. It was like not working at a lot of the points. And I needed it to work. Here we go. Ooh. See all the components that I talked about earlier? They're all there. I didn't die long though. I needed to die longer. That was the other thing that I didn't like about the shot. The other thing, my pose was out of frame, so I just didn't like that. But the wind up was good. I was like, like it was like wider, you know. Sorry, I don't know if you guys heard me there. It seems like I'm glitching. Okay. Do you guys want to hear the actual shot? It's right here. Nice. Good shit. Oh. Nice. This is the shot that we actually used.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Again, I needed the exact sound that I wanted to play. You know, like the standby. Gotta have a good standby. Here we go. This is it. It's coming. This is the one. You get to hear me die this time and say Henshin.
Henshin!
I was trying to do like anime grunts. You know? Yeah. So that was the death without visual effects, obviously. And yeah, I mean, like there were a few shots. There's this fun shot. Oh, I should have made this the thumbnail to the stream. I guess I'll do that after the fact. But there's this shot. It's really fun. Sophia, I was like, Sophia, take a picture of me in front of the tree while we're this one's out of that. This one's not in focus. This one's in focus. Yeah, I was just like, take a picture of me in front of the tree so we can, you know. I did the Nago pose, then I did my pose. So fun. But yeah, I just I wanted to, and I still want to. I want to make stories that are influenced by tokusatsu shows, but that touch on, you know, more the human side of the toku shows. I'm not always, as you can see, I'm not always going to be able to have like action, choreography, fight scenes, and monster suits, but I think I still want to be able to tell a meaningful human story with toys, with toku items, just because I don't know, I like the art of it, and the stories and the themes that we get in different tokusatsu shows really inspire me to tell my own stories, and I really want them to almost feel like an adaptation. Like, I didn't want this short to take place in the universe of Geats. This short takes place in my universe of Geats, if that makes sense. You know, like, this isn't the writer before Nago. That's why it's not called the Last Nago. Like, we named it the Lost Nago because it is just a Nago in the Grand Prix in my universe, if you will. I don't want to like coin that or anything, but I just like being able to tell stories that I can take influence from and then also write my own rules along the way. But that also have a basis from the show or some type of meaning. I don't know. I watch these shows a lot, and I really love the messages that we get with them. And I think sharing my messages or stuff that I want to say through the lens of another person or a character that is maybe going through something a little bit extra, it's kind of cool. And I hope I'm not glitching out right now because I'm just spilling. But with that being said, I will now share with you all the next project that I wish I had set up like a video or something. But the next project that will be the next short after the Lost Nago and the Kamen Rider Geats inspired short will be a short about Kamen Rider Zeronos. So if you guys know about Zeronos, he's from a little show called Kamen Rider Den-O. And that show is about time and memories and sad and funny and sad. So it's right up my alley. But yeah, it's like I said before, Carl, shout out to Kaiju Carl. He's also writing this one because I was talking about the Geet stuff earlier. For the next Geets project that I'm not going to talk about right now, we're focusing on Zeronos. But Carl is writing that as we speak, and we just had to talk about it the other day, and we're really excited about it. I'm very excited about it. I'm not going to share details about it at all right now, but I just wanted to share that Zeronos is the next focus for the next short. With that being said, if you're watching this right now, or if you're watching this after I post this, and you have either the CSM Zeronos belt or the CSM Deno belt or the CSM New Deno, just throwing that out there, hit me up because I would love to borrow it for that short because I'm not going to buy these CSMs. So I'm going to be asking people if they have these because I think that'd be really cool to incorporate, obviously. Yeah, so Zeronos is going to be the next short. I'm very excited. I'm very, very excited to get on that one. But that one's going to be super cool. And I can't wait to fucking film that shit. I don't want to share too much, like I said, but it is, like I said, on Zeronos and not Deno. Because, as I said previously in this live stream, these short stories that I'm creating, this anthology, if you will, I want it to be about side characters. I want it to be about the other writers that don't have a whole show dedicated to them. And yeah, I hope that you liked this stream. If you watched The Lost Nago, thank you so much. If you haven't and you watched it tonight while I was doing this, hey, thank you. Maybe go watch it after this and you'll have another perspective on it. But yeah, I hope I didn't overshare with every little thing because I did explain a lot of stuff. But if you see something in the short and you're like, this is what this means, that's probably what that means. Unless you're like saying that I couldn't henshin because I was fat or something. That's not true. I've already rolled that out in my universe. Thank you very much. Plus size people can henshin. Just wait for it. But yeah, I'm really happy with what I made. And I'm very excited to continue making short stories like this and also better ones because everyone is just going to get better. I've learned my lesson from this one and I'm going to make the Zeronos one way better. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And I would love if you could share The Lost Nago with your friends, with family members, people that are watching Geets. Maybe shoot it to them and see what they think. I'm really proud of this and I want people to see it, and if people like it enough, then I hope to continue doing it for a good long time. But for now, I'm just going to be working on these little shorts just to like give you more to chew on as far as this goes. We have the Zeronos one, we have another Geets one coming out, and then I have another Common Writer one, and Sophia and I started talking about a Sentai one. So the short stories are out there, and I'm really excited to kind of dive deeper into them and have them all be different, because that's the other thing. They won't all always be sad. But I am a sad boy, and Carl is also a sad boy, so we can relate on that and kind of talk about stuff that is sad and heart-wrenching, and that's kind of where I want to lead with stuff. I really want to touch people's hearts and really tug on those strings. But the stories won't always be so like sad. I've already talked to Sophia about like let's get some happy ones, because all the ideas are kind of like, but yeah, no, I'm very excited about them, and I hope that you all enjoy them too. And again, if you're watching this after the fact and you enjoyed this live stream, maybe give it a like. Let me know what you liked down below of what I shared. Yeah, I appreciate that. Ultraman, hey yo, chill, Mega, chill. Yeah. If you're watching this right now, thank you so much for being here. Shout out to Lego Dragon Ranger. Sorry I didn't read much of the chat, everybody. I was really trying to just do this commentary just in case anybody watches this after the fact. But yeah, I appreciate you all a bunch. I'm going to plug the Patreon now. if you want more behind the scenes stuff, I'm going to upload some stuff on Patreon. There's going to be like a folder of shots that didn't make it into the short, alternate shots, and then just raw footage overall, you know. I just want to share that, and Patreon is going to be shifting more to stuff like this, more like behind the scenes content, and less exclusive reactions, because reactions I've been doing a lot on Twitch. So if you want behind the scenes stuff on shorts, updates, all that good stuff, Patreon is probably going to be the place to do that. But other than that, hey, thank you so much. My name is Jem, and I put out a freaking Togu short that I'm really proud of, and I talked about that today. So if you heard me talk about it, thank you so much, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Please, please, please take care of yourselves. Please take care of yourselves, seriously. If there's anything I'm going to stress in videos and maybe in the shorts, is that you have to take care of yourself. You know what I mean? Mentally, physically, you know? Work on yourself. Think about yourself. Prioritize yourself. Awesome. Because you are always going to be there for yourself. You're your best friend. And you just have